Hey everybody, I'm Pav Bryan and you're watching a video on drafting. So we've got Natasha here in front of me. Natasha's a triathlete. She engaged my services late last year due to change in the way triathlon is run, or more specifically the fact that they're now allowed to draft in most forms of triathlon. So she wanted to get ahead of the competition by learning to do this as effectively as possible. And this was one of the first sessions we did. As you can see, it's fairly grim out, and it's quite difficult as well because it was just us two. There's a later video which I'll put up, which Natasha has a friend, and it's a lot easier to see what's the best way to do it. But there's a few key things that you should always do when you're riding with anyone, in terms of if you're the person on the front like now, you need to ride in a logical and smooth path and making sure you're looking ahead. I ride quite a lot of group events and chain gangs and stuff like that, and people, if you're looking over your shoulder all the time or you're not looking forward, you're just making people nervous. So make sure you're looking ahead, you're spotting any hazards in the road and you're pointing them out if you see him. So there you go, perfect. Natasha pointing out a drain as it's wet, it's really slippery, potential hazards. So Natasha's done really well to point that out and make sure that everybody behind me, I mean in this case it's just me, but everybody, if there was other people, would see that and be able to avoid it. Shouting can work. Shouting whole can create a lot of panic though. It's really hard to work out whether or not being really vocal is actually going to help you out. I think the main thing with being vocal is if you're going to shout, you need to either point to where it is or shout a direction or a side to which it is as well, so that everybody knows. The people at the back haven't a clue if you're just shouting pothole at the end of the day. So here we go. This guy's clearly cheating. Good job, he's not in a race or anything like that. Pacing when you're the person on the front's important. This is, you can't see it here, but this is a little drag. If you're a strong rider, the last thing you want to do, especially when it's your turn on the front, is to go absolutely full gas and pull through. Because even if you're riding a 2-up, maybe the person behind you can jump your wheel. But if you're riding a long group, the people at the back have got no chance. And if someone's pulled off and come to the back, they're almost certainly getting dropped. And if you're trying to be the most efficient team, you need all of your members for the majority of it. So doing something like that's just really counterproductive. It doesn't help anyone out, and you're not going to make any friends by upping the pace as it's your turn on the front. So consistent pacing, thinking about it, go with feel more than anything else. If you've got a power meter, perfect. But most people don't have access to that yet. So you have to just ride by feel and not up it. So I'm a big fan of you constantly pedaling the person in front. This is when you're at the back, you can do whatever you want. I always say to people, when you get to the back, that's your time to stretch out, drink, eat, take a layer off, anything. Don't do that in the middle. Don't do it at the front, because the people behind you are going to be really panicking and worried about what you're doing because you're not paying attention. So constant pedaling also, because if you stop pedaling, the person behind is going to notice that. It's going to worry them a little bit, and potentially what you're going to get is them stopping pedaling as well, or braking or something like that. So constant pedaling. If you need to slow down, you've got two options really. You can feather your brakes while still pedaling, or just open your body up a bit more and use air resistance, wind resistance to slow yourself down. Of course, if you need to slow down for a hazard or a junction or anything like that, do so. And make sure you're telling everyone, either with a hand signal or you're shouting slowing down or something like that. So here we go again, just finishing off now. So this is the last little bit of this session. Natasha's done really well here. I think this is quite good. She's done really well pacing. We were quite unmatched really in terms of performance base, but she's done well. She's talked to me as we've passed and swapped positions about how she's feeling. If she needs me to ease up, she's told me. Similarly, if she doesn't, it doesn't mean that I'm going to go harder. But the communication's key, specifically with a team time trial or something like that. So that is it. Thank you for watching this short video on drafting, leading and following. Thanks again to Natasha for being in this video. If you've liked what you've seen, please feel free to comment or share it on your social media feeds. If you have any questions, please email coach@pavbrian.com. And I look forward to hearing from you soon.